Hello guys, welcome to my channel Code with Maddie. Today I am here to discuss next topic in our discussion with Core Java. So in my previous video we have discussed introduction to Core Java, and in that topic we have discussed about Java section. So in today's videos we are going to discuss Java terminology. So today we will see uh, what are the Java terms that we need to be familiar before proceeding to the next topic in core Java concept. So let's start with that today's content, and I hope that will be going to be a good session. So let's proceed further. So what we will be going to learn in this video, so that is before going to learn Java concept, we should be familiar with these terms. So these terms are JDK, bytecode, JVM, JRE, class path, and garbage collector. Okay. So these terms we will see one by one, and we will try to see what are the things that are required to know at this time, and what are the things that we are going to see in more brief scenario in the upcoming videos. So let's proceed further with the first terminology, that is JDK. So question comes, what is JDK? So let's start this. So full form of JDK is Java Development Kit. Okay. As we have discussed in the what is Java section, so there also we have seen the term JDK, that is Java Development Kit. So what is this Java Development Kit is all about? As the name suggests, it is a complete Java development kit or tools. Okay. In this, it includes everything like compiler, JRE, Java debugger, and all the Java documents which are available in the JDK. Everything is in concept, means everything is residing inside Java development kit. Okay. Now, in order to create, compile, and execute our programs which we are writing in Java programming language, we need to install JDK in our machine if we want to do all these functionalities like create, compile, and execute our programs. Okay, then we need to install this JDK, and this is very important. Without installing JDK, you can write the programs and save it as a .java file, but your machine will not understand that whether it is a Java file or not, and you will be not be able to execute it. Okay. Now, so before going to the next terminology, what we are going to see, what are the phases of program. Okay, so we write the program, that's correct, but there are different phases of that program that occurs, or you can say the life cycle of program. Okay, so there are basically three phases of program. So first is we are writing a program, or a developer is writing a program. Okay, so who is writing a program? Done by a developer. Okay. Now next phase is compiling a program. So for compiling a program, who is responsible for compiling? Done by a compiler, and in Java we have Java C compiler. Okay. So this Java C is included inside JDK. Okay. Now running a program. So for running a program, who is responsible, guys? Done by JVM. Okay. So JVM is responsible for running a program, and this JVM is also included inside JDK. Okay. Now next terminology in Java is what is bytecode. So as we have seen in previous slide, okay, Java C compiler of JDK is used to compile the Java source code. Okay. So what basically it did by compiling? So Java C compiler takes the source code as an input and compile it and give some output, and that output is nothing but a bytecode. Okay, and why it is generating a bytecode? Because that can be understandable by machine, and that can be executed by JVM. Okay, JVM is responsible for executing bytecode. Okay, so before we are writing a program into source code, correct? Whatever the source code we are writing in .java file, that we are writing as a developer. Now, compiler, what it will do, it will convert that source code or human readable code into a machine readable code, that is bytecode. Okay, and that will be saved as .class file, not .java file. Okay, and that that .class file will be executed by JVM. Okay, now next point, JVM only executes bytecodes of program. Okay, it will not be able to execute any .java file directly, because that is not a machine readable code, that is a human readable code. Okay, bytecode is saved as .class file. Okay, once the compilation is done, whatever the source code we have written in .java file, that will be saved as .class file by the compiler. Okay, and then if you want to see what is the .class file contains, we can use any deassembler for that class file. Like we are having one deassembler in Java JDK, it is already present, that is Java P, to view the bytecodes. Okay, now next point is, okay, so this we can see as source code, that is human readable code, and this is done by developer. Okay, now saved as .java file, these files are saved as .java file. Okay, now here comes in picture what, Java compiler. So this source code we are sending as an input to Java compiler. Okay, and we are not sending anything. As soon as you will do, saving the file, it will compile. Okay, or if you want to execute a file, it will first compile. Okay, if compilation is good, then only it will be going to execute, otherwise it will give an error at the compile time. Okay, so that practical implementation we will see. Now what this Java C compiler will do, it will convert this source code to bytecode, which is a machine readable code, and this bytecode is a output from Java compiler. Okay, and this bytecode will be saved as .class file. So this is a pictorial diagram of whatever points we have discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so it's better, I will also suggest that do not go everything by seeing the points or by try to learn the points or paragraphs. Okay, it's better to always memorize a picture. In that way you will be able to learn and memorize anything easily and fast. Okay, so that is why I'm also using these pictures everywhere. Okay, now what is next thing, next terminology in Java? We have seen this term, that is JVM, in the previous slide as well. So what is JVM? So JVM is nothing but it's a Java virtual machine. Okay, this JVM is included inside JDK. Okay, why this Java virtual machine used? This is used to take the bytecode from the compiler, and based on that bytecode it will execute the program. Okay, now as soon as you will install the JDK in your system, JVM also will get installed in your system. Okay, and for every different operating system, JVM will be different. Okay, but whatever this, if you have written a source code, let's say a single Java file, and you are trying to run that single Java file into different operating system or a different machine where different JDK is installed, or a different Java virtual machine is installed, in that case output of that Java file, after executing that Java file, output will be same across all the operating system and all the machines. Okay, and this gives feature of write once and run anywhere, which we have discussed in our previous video, remember. So that is why Java is also known as platform independent language. It does not depend upon the platform. Okay, And why we are calling this platform? Because JVM is providing a platform to execute our Java code. Okay. Now we'll see the picture of this. What we are giving as an input to this JVM, we are giving bytecode as an input, which we are getting from compiler. This we are giving as an input to JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. And what would be output of the? So output will be the output of program which we are executing, because JVM is used to execute a program. Okay. Now next term we will see JRE. What is JRE? Java Runtime Environment. So what is Java Runtime Environment? So JRE also installed along with the JDK installation. Okay. And it allows Java program to run. Okay. So what it mean by it allows Java program to run? It includes a support, you can say support from a Java program, like it includes a browser, it includes JVM. Okay. It includes applet supports and plugins, whatever is going to you are going to require for running your application. So JRE is a kind of runtime environment which you are providing to your for running the Java program. That makes sense, right? And remember one thing, JVM is included inside JRE and JRE is included inside JDK. Okay. Now, in order to run Java programs, JRE needs to be installed in the machine. Why? Because JVM is inside this JRE. So if JRE will be not installed in your system, so JVM will not be available, right? Because JVM is inside that JRE. So that is why JRE it needs to be installed in your system. Okay. Now next terminology comes, what is class path? So about class path. Class path is nothing but it's the path in your file system. Okay. Where the Java compiler and Java runtime looks for .class file to load. Okay. So what compiler is doing? Compiler is compiling the Java source code and saving that source code into .class file. So it should have some path specified in your file system, that where you are going to save this class file. Okay. Compiler should know where I want to save this .class file, so that JVM or JRE can look forward for this class path or for this class file to load and execute the program. Okay. This is very simple. Now once this same class file will be loaded, it will be used to execute the program. That makes sense, right? Now by default Java has many inbuilt library to the class path. If we want to use external library to our Java application, we need to add that library to the class path. Okay. So see, for class path is something like that, where whatever the external libraries you want to store, or inbuilt library, also lots of inbuilt library present inside the Java. Like I said in my previous video, that there are lots of inbuilt functions and syntaxes are available in Java. That's why it is very easier for us to understand, and it's very simple for us to remember as well as write the syntaxes of Java. Okay. So there we have some inbuilt library, but if we want to add some external library along with that Java application, then we can add that library to our class path. Why? Because if we will add that library to our class path, it will be located and it will be loaded easily. Okay. So that is why class path is very important. Okay. Next we will see what is GC. That is a garbage collector. Okay. So in Java, we know that everything will be contained in the form of object and classes, because Java is an object-oriented programming language. So everything is having have contained in the form of object and classes. So programmer cannot delete, if I am a programmer and I want to delete an object from my side, then we don't have permission to do that, okay, in Java. So to delete that object and recollect that memory, what is mean by that? If we are not deleting an object, okay, since we don't have permission, then we are not deleting object. But if you see, for that object there should be some memory allocated in your heap memory, okay. So in that scenario, if you will not be able to delete some objects, or let's say if, you have created 100 of objects and you are not able to delete it, then that will consume some extra memory and that will make your performance bad, overall performance, okay. So to avoid that situation, Java provides us the facility of garbage collector, okay, where it deletes all the unused object and recollect the memory, okay. So that functionality of doing this, deleting and recollecting the memory, this functionality is available inside the JVM, that is known as Java, that is garbage collector, okay. So by this, what is the advantage? Garbage collector can recollect all that objects which are not referenced, okay, or which are not used. It can recollect, and for you it will make that memory space free so that your performance can be increased. So this is a very good feature available in Java, and this is very important concept and question as well for your online examination, interview perspective, any of where you will find this question for sure. Someone will ask you what is garbage collection in Java. So you need to be very careful here. Okay. Now, so with the help of this garbage collector, Java provides good memory management to the programmers. Okay. And performance of your program will increase. So these are the topics which we have discussed in the Java terminology. So this contains some points which needs to be discussed in a brief manner. So like we need to have more understanding on JDK, JRE and garbage collection as well, and JVM. So these topics we need to be having some more information in our future videos. So I will cover all those things into my upcoming videos, and I will go through deep dive into all of these topics one by one. But for now, you should be familiar with these points at least, so that your concept should be clear at the time of discussing those topics. Okay. So this is all guys for today's section, and we have covered Java terminology in today's section, and now in our next coming videos, we will see the features of Java and the rest of the topics in our upcoming video. Okay. So thank you guys. This is all for today's content. I hope you like my videos. Please, if you like my videos, please like and comment my videos, and subscribe my channel. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.